everyone, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. Oops, I'm trying to move my thing. Okay, we're having issues. All right, there we go. It's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet, and I might have 1 or 2 videos that I'm making today. I'm not quite sure. It depends on how long this one runs. But I want to welcome you all to my channel. My channel is generally a crochet, knitting, whatever kind of shenanigans I can get into with the fiber arts channel. But my husband and I do live in a camper and we travel, so we do some sightseeing / travel videos, sometimes some really cool places to eat. So if you like that kind of thing, stay tuned for those. I do try to warn you in advance if it's a travel video versus a yarn video. This one is a yarn video. I am in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And I'll tell you, it is one of my favorite places in the whole world. I have friends in the area, which helps to make it a favorite place in the whole world. But it's a fun area. I really like it here. It is 81 degrees right now, so why am I not outside, right? Because I'm filming and everything I have is inside and it's easier. It's easier, that's why. So what have I been up to? I have so many things to show you and to talk to you about. So I'm just going to start with my red. So I'm going to reach down. Sorry about that. My red, white, and blue American patriotic blanket. It is the easy textured rippled 12 pointed. I don't know. It's a pattern by, I think, Hooked by Robin. I think. Anyway, it'll be in the description box. It's the only chevron rippled. If it says rippled, that's this blanket. I have finished it. It is about 60 inches across, which you will not be able to see the whole thing in this video. It had started out, there we go. It's about 60 inches across. I used mostly Big Twist. The red, white, and blue variegated is Hobby Lobby. I used a 7mm hook. 7mm, not 6. Normally I would use a 6mm, but I chose to use a 7mm on this, and I'm really glad that I did. I'm going to put up some pictures, or maybe they're already up, on my bed. It goes across, it's a queen size bed, regular queen size bed, not like a camper smaller queen size or anything. It's a regular queen size bed, and I have it laid out across. It reaches like to the pillows and side to side. I wanted it big enough to fit across the top of the couch, which you'll see in, if you haven't already, one of the pictures, that it does fit in across the top of my couch. And it's a full size, regular size couch. But I was originally making this for Boggy Creek, and when it got to be about big enough for Boggy Creek is when we've learned that for Boggy Creek it would have had to been about a 40 by 40, star shape. So point to point across, it needed to be no bigger than 40 by 40. And we found out that Boggy has more blankets than they are legally allowed to store at this point. The fire marshal is on them. Their storage space is an issue. So I said, well, I'll keep it for myself because I really like it. I know my daughter would probably love having it. My daughter-in-law, one of them might like it. I don't know. I thought it was really pretty. Somebody will take it if I decide I don't want to keep it. I know I can get rid of it. And so I decided to make it couch size so that you could, display it over the holidays. If you're from the U.S., you got Memorial Day, then you've got Labor Day, or Independence Day, then you got Labor Day. This year is there's a word for it, but it's 250th anniversary of our country. Something to celebrate. So I imagine this year, the 4th of July, will be a lot of big things going on. We will be, however, in Alaska at that time, so that'll be an interesting 4th of July for us. So that blanket it's a completed blanket in my book. I did, like I said, want it to be, if it would go, I have it thrown over the top in the one picture, and it's like this far from reaching edge to edge on the top of the couch, but it does reach the cushion underneath, and I didn't want it to be longer than that. So so that is a completed project, and I'm very excited about it. As far as Boggy, since I brought that up, we are asking you not to make blankets right now. If you have some on your hook, like my luck of the draw, which I'm going to show you next, I'm going to finish that blanket because it's already started. And I think I have one that's already finished. And I will send that'll go to Boggy next year as well. But we are looking into other venues to send them to until Boggy's ready for more blankets. At one point, we've always said, if your blanket's a little bit big, that's okay, because they'll use them in the camp. And we didn't put a lot of emphasis on making specific sure that it fits the Boggy Creek parameters for what they give away to the kids, which would be 35 to 40 wide, 40 to 50 long. And some blankets were getting bigger than that. But we said, they use them for the camp counselors, they use them for the doctors and the nurses, and they wash them and use them again. They don't give those blankets away. But they have enough of those blankets. So the oversized blankets, they don't need anymore. They can't store anymore. So that's why we're saying you have to be really specific on size now, because what they were and do use the oversized blankets for, they don't need that size anymore. So they can't take them, just, there's no storage space for blankets like that. Not that they didn't and don't appreciate the ones that they have, they just don't need more. So please don't read anything into that. Boggy will take more blankets from us in the future, but they will have to be the right sized blankets. They won't be able to take the oversized blankets any longer. And they have enough blankets for this next year and probably the year after. I don't know. They have a lot. We gave them 6,000 blankets in the last two drop-offs. So they have plenty of blankets for right now. But our brigade is about our community and the fact that we want to donate blankets. Donating to the kids at Boggy Creek is a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous donation place. We are still the Boggy Blanket Brigade. We will always be the Boggy Blanket Brigade, and we will always donate to Boggy when they are ready. They are our first choice of donation projects. But there are other donation places where we can come together and donate the blankets. If you don't want to, we're looking into places. I called a couple today. We're, gonna feel each other out on some stuff. If we can get places in that are close to Nancy, because she'll be the one that's opening the boxes still at this point, then that's what we're looking for. And as I said, I made a couple of phone calls this morning, so we'll see how that pans out. If you could, it's always that you can donate to local charities as well. So, and still share your blankets with us. We were talking about that, we were talking about that on the live. If we're about the community as far as this whole Boggy donation goes, we love Boggy Creek, don't get me wrong, as I said, but we're about the community. We have, I think, created a really wonderful community that we get together on Wednesday nights and open blankets and share things and have the website, or not the website, but the email and the Facebook page where you can share your works and your knowledge and your skills and make friends. And that's why Nancy and I started. That's why Billy joined in. That's why Lynanne joined in. We can do all of these wonderful things as a group, and we've made a wonderful group, and I don't want to see that end myself. So that all being said, that wasn't really what this video was supposed to be about, but I'm going to leave it in there. I finished that blanket and I made it not be for Boggy, and it won't be a donation blanket now that I've made it that big. That's not a donation blanket. But I am working on my Boggy Creek Luck of the Draw, which is hosted by Trish, Mama Swift. Luck of the Draw is, it's just a crochet along. You don't have to make a Boggy Creek blanket. At this point, the next one will hopefully not be a Boggy style Luck of the Draw. I'm sure she'll do it again. Maybe she'll make it longer, be a longer crochet along, since it won't be for Boggy. In case I didn't say, Trisha is Mama Swift, and I will have her linked in the description box below as well. Every Thursday, she draws a number. You pick out 5 colors. The way it works right now, you pick out 5 colors, and if you want a main color, and you number your colors. It's it's not a secret, but it's like a secret. So let me show you my paper. Let me dig it out of here. Here it is. So here's my 5 colors. Every color that you have, you list a number to. Every week, Trish draws a number. You look at your list and you say, oh, my number, whatever, is, in my last case, green. So to my blanket, I have to add green. Then you would do a couple rows of your main color, which is just a separation color. In this particular blanket, I am not doing a main color. I'm just doing 5 colors. My colors are based on the cabin colors at Camp Boggy Creek, which are red, green, yellow, and blue. And then my 5th color, because I needed 5 colors, is a variegated that contains those colors plus some more colors. So to spruce it up and make it a little more comfortable. So first week, I am making a corner-to-corner granny blanket. I have never made a corner-to-corner granny blanket before. I'm really liking this, and it works up for the 40 inches. It's working up pretty quick. So this was my first corner. Started with blue, then we went to yellow. The next week was my variegated, which this is a donation by Nancy. These are big twist yarns. This is a premier yarn, big twist again. Then we had the variegated again, and now for the first time we've had the green, and mine is big twist varsity green. And now I'm starting the decrease. So from this corner across to this corner, I have my 40 inches. When I do my arm stretch thing, see, it comes to about here. Look, I'll show you. This is my unofficial 40-inch measurement. I know when I can hold it from one end to the other and it crosses my shoulder, it's about 40 inches. So when I start getting to my shoulder, I start measuring things that need to be bigger than 40 inches, or give myself a guide of what is, what kind of measurement. I know if I get to my shoulder, I'm getting close to around 40 inches. That's just my guide for myself. So a little bit past, and now I got 40 inches, so I had to start decreasing. So I did. Now this is last week's color. She just drew a color yesterday because today is Friday. My next color again will be this wonderful yellow, varsity yellow. I love that color. I had the big 1 pound, and my varsity green ran out. I do not have more varsity green. The premier yarn is Premier Basics Mosaic Worsted, and my color is Prism. I am using a 6mm hook with this. So I have this much in the yellow, I have this much in the blue, I have this much in the red. Now I have told myself when and if these colors start to run out, particularly now that, you know, Boggy is not going to be involved in every other blanket that I make, I'm not going to need more of this green, because green is not my favorite color. It is one of my, this color of green. It's great for Christmas. Oh, very Christmassy. Love it, love it. Add some white, beautiful. It's great to make a tree. It's not a color I would ever wear or decorate in my house or want anything specifically made in this color. It's just not my favorite color. It's people, right? Ask Laura, she'll tell you. And this is a very people-y green. So I got this far on row 8. Here's my end. Here's my row 8. I have 3/4 of a row and a row to go. I hope I have more of this color. I do not want to buy, which there's a Michael's that far. I can easily run over and buy a skein of varsity green. And I had one in my cart yesterday. Went shopping with Desiree and Joe from Joe's Web yesterday, and I put one in my cart and I said, you know what? I don't want to have extra of this green because I have scrap greens, and like I said, not my favorite color. So I put it back. I said, I think I might be able to get away with not buying it. Now, that being said, I will buy it to finish this blanket, and I hope that she calls green again before the end of this. But we're on week 7, and this is the first time she called green, or my number for green. But the yellow is week 7. So if I like ran out of red at the end or had just a little and knew that I wasn't going to have enough to go a whole nother 10 rows, because I'm doing 10 rows of each color. But I thought, you know, with the decrease, I should be able to get by with that green. That's what I was thinking when I was at the store yesterday. I said, I'm going to play Yarn Chicken. I lost, but I was really thinking I might make it. But like if I finished a green and I knew I wasn't going to have enough to do the next whole set, but I really thought I was going to have enough. And then she called green again, I would just use a different dark green. But I can't do that in the middle of the row because that'll look really silly, particularly if green is not called again. Then I've got this row and a half or row and 3/4 of an odd green, and that would really look silly. So I'm not going to make it look silly. I wished this had been my green, then I would have probably realized I wasn't going to have enough. Or maybe this one, I would have had enough. And then I would have known, oh, if she calls green again, I need to buy another skein. But no, we're at the biggest part of the square and starting the decrease of it. And that's when I ran out of green. The color I had the least of. So that's the way it works out, right? So that's okay. I will stop at a Michael's and I will buy a skein of varsity green and I'll finish the blanket. But for right now, it's on hold. We are going out to dinner and with friends again today, and we will be maybe near a Michael's. I don't know. We're near a mall, so I'm hoping that there'll be a Michael's there and I can just buzz in, get my one skein of varsity green, and then be able to finish my blanket. That's what I'm hoping for. So cross your fingers for me, guys. And then that blanket's getting really close to being done. I think I'm going to need more than 3 weeks because I used 6.5 colors. No, 5.5 colors to get it there. But we're in the decrease, so she's only got 3 weeks more to go. I need 5 more color pulls. So I'll probably have to play luck of the draw by myself for the last 2 colors. But I know Trish always calls at least 1 extra number on the last week. So this is the first time that I'm going to be not done with the blanket before she's done with the numbers. But that's okay. It's all good. I think the blanket's going to be really cute, and I'm happy with it. So that's what I'm going to give you in this video. The next video, I'm going to record another video, and we're not going to talk blankets. We're going to talk other things. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. See ya. Bye.